Hey there everybody, it's David Scarpetta and welcome back to another Get Found Fact. In today's Get Found Fact, we're going to answer the question a lot of people have on whether or not you should be selling on eBay or Amazon, right? So eBay versus Amazon selling. So let's start. We're going to have eBay here. Okay. Sorry about the hieroglyphics. It's I'm not the best when it comes to handwriting. And we're going to go versus round one versus Amazon. Okay. Big A. Big A. Some people will, take it how you will. Some think the A stands for something else because they kind of hate it as a seller, but some people love it. So we're going to go through that now. Okay. So let's get that dividing line, shall we? All right, so let's look at the pros. Pros. Be a pro. And this is what happens when you guys tune in. You're going to become pros, okay? So we want to be a pro. All right. First, on the eBay, lower fees to start. Barrier to entrance. Here's your barrier, and here are the fees, and the money is lower. Lower fees. Not too many. You know, you'll have, how about we get this $2 signs. Lower overall fees to start. A lot of the specials that eBay runs nowadays to compete in the space is that they will give like 200 listings free. They'll give you 150 listings free. You know, something that used to cost you money back in the day, you actually don't have to spend the money anymore. And you get to kind of like sample test or A/B test that to start. And it's actually really helpful because you can kind of see where you are going to be in your eBay business and kind of get started. And then once you actually are through all those free listings, then they start to charge you. But it's, you know, we're talking like change here, like 30 cents. And of course you can upgrade and such. But really the pro is that like you can get started right out the box. Okay, so that's one of them. Lower closing sales fees. We're going to make this a door. I'm going to close that door here. And I'm going to slam it shut, and it's lower fees, again, to close the sale, lower closing sale fees, all right? And that's a really big thing too, because depending on the value of your item, you know, you have to take that percentage into correlation of like, you know, what you're going to make, what your profit is, right? So lower closing fees. So almost none at this. Sometimes you got to catch them, but you know, a lot of the times they're running it now. You'll get the no fee listings and the lower close fees. Okay, and then we have payment. Right? Everybody wants to get paid, and that's a really bad looking dollar bill. So we'll get the, you know, all that stuff. So there's my dollar bill. So you get paid instantly. They use PayPal as a gateway. Most of the time you have to get paid via PayPal, so you get the money, right, depending how much you make, and if you're smart and follow things I teach, you'll make lots of money on these platforms. So again, this is it's instant. You know, most of the time it's instant. So you get that instant money, all right? Love it. No one wants to get paid, you know, 15 days or 20 days from now. But if you have a PayPal account, sometimes they'll restrict it. But that only depends if you're selling questionable items and you don't have a PayPal account already and you just made everything at once. So there's some security stuff in place. But for the most part, you know, you're getting paid via PayPal because they own PayPal and vice versa. Okay. You have more control. That's right. So I'm going to make like, what is this? This is going to be the stick shift. Let's say an arcade stick. So more, they have these buttons here and the start button. All right, so here you go. Here's your arcade stick, and you have control of the listing. All right, you make an independent listing for all of your products, and we'll show you kind of again on other videos. We're gonna kind of teach you guys how to maximize your listings, but you get control, and that's really a big thing. I feel is having that control. You know, it also helps with SEO your listings. You can actually SEO a listing, and having that control, unlike on Amazon, and we'll talk about those as being one of the cons, but the control, okay? and more customer interaction. So we're gonna see this. We'll put this guy here, and he'll be yelling and being like shouting in his face, and this will be another guy here and being like shouting in his face. He's got a party hat on because he wants to buy your stuff, and there you have it. And you know, it's interaction. Okay, so this could be a positive and a negative, and I'll tell you why. All right, so from a positive standpoint, you know, they have different types of sales classifications. So they have the auction method now, they've always had, and they started out with. Then they have the buy it now, which was something they added on. And then later on, or the offer, you know, you can offer best offer nonsense, all right? And depending on the product and the market space and the importance of liquidity and how you want to sell your product, you know, do you want to get the money now or do you want to sit on the item for the next 15 years? You basically tell yourself at that point, well, maybe we'll have some interaction. So when you have this interaction with somebody, all right, you could kind of finesse them into the sale and say, hey, you know, it's only X amount on eBay right now. I'll give you this money. Yes, you know, but it's got a warranty. Oh, do you want some more photos? So the interaction could be, you know, either, you know, on a higher ticket product, it's a good thing because now, you know, you can shave a few dollars off and you can actually close the deal. Or it could be a bad thing because they're asking you 15,000 questions about something that's already been posted in the listing and they didn't read it anyway. So the thing is that it kind of goes both ways. So I'm going to put it as a pro. I like interactivity. I think it's important to talk with your customers or find out information from your customers, and I'm going to put that as a pro, okay? But some people may say it's a negative. Okay. Another pro is competition is sporadic. Okay. So here's all the businesses. This is business 1, business 2, business 3, business 4, and it's sporadic. So this is all the businesses, but they may be on page 1 and page 2, page 3. They're not all grouped together. So the people who be selling the same exact product is sporadic. All right. So they may be there, but they may not be listing correctly, because they didn't have the proper control and they didn't do the listing well, and now it's like kind of out of the ballpark. They don't really see your competition's listings, and they see your listing. So now you may be on page 1 and you got another listing here, another listing here, and you kind of control and you push all these guys down. So it's sporadic, which I think is a plus, and being the fact is so many sellers now in the market selling a lot of the similar products or kind of similar products, or the same exact product for that matter. This makes it the ability to have, again, goes back to more control and makes it sporadic, okay? So that's a plus, okay? So this, again, we're gonna do the pros here. These are the pros, and you become a pro by watching this stuff, okay? So if you guys didn't subscribe, just take a minute now to click the button again and subscribe and find out more, okay? So here we go with the pros for Amazon, okay? So, Amazon. More traffic, more people. Here we're gonna draw more like people and squids and you know, stick figures and hangmans and all kinds of stuff, and they're all happy or angry or tired, or they're just looking to spend money. Okay, so you have all this here. You got more. You have more people and more traffic, right? Well, it's been known that these more people and more traffic also entails more conversion, meaning that, you know, have X amount of people visiting a site, they're going to be X amount of people making purchases or have intent to make purchases, okay? So that makes a higher conversion rate, all right? So that higher conversion rate, and we're going to make that bad dollar bill again, all right? And we're going to have that money, that's that money, all right? So we have a higher conversion rate on Amazon, all right? Very high, in fact. You know, it's actually the highest on the net. Very few sites come close to the conversion. But again, that's why they're Amazon, okay? And the other thing that's for the buyer perspective, right, is that it's a trusted marketplace. And these directly affect your sales. Now, mind you, everything I'm talking in here, this will affect all your sales. This will affect your sales. So we have here, we have trusted, A to Z. All right, guarantee, A to Z guarantee. If you guys don't know what it is, and you haven't purchased on Amazon and you don't have buyer's remorse, then you probably never experienced the A to Z guarantee. But as a seller, I could tell you they hate it with a passion, and they want to kill you with your eyeballs, because A to Z basically gives the customer who's purchasing full control of the quality. So if, even if it's been explained the quality of the product's great and all and everything else, they just want to return it. They have buyer's remorse. They don't want it. A to Z guarantee covers them, and it's their guarantee. It's Amazon's guarantee. So no matter what your refund policy is, okay, and you have less control. So you basically don't have any control. You may have a return policy, in fact, but 99% of the time, A to Z will cover them, even if they don't cover you. So, but again, from a buyer's perspective, that's what makes the more conversion. Okay, so they have that. So you'll be selling more. All right, initially, but we'll talk more about that, okay? All right, and more organized product listings. Organization, yes, we have organization. So here is a bookshelf. I'm gonna draw a bookshelf, and I'm gonna draw all kinds of books on it, and lots of books. Here's a shelf, here's a shelf, here's a shelf, here's a shelf. And, it could be your website, if you want to make a website page, but that's a really bad design. So basically, organization. You got to stay organized, right? Organized, all right? And we're going to just kind of spell that in code, all right? So you got to stay organized. That's a big problem with, genuinely with eBay, it's just disorganized, right? It kind of looks like at times you think it's like the garage sale of the internet. So people go to it specifically typing in to the search bar kind of what they want, and if they kind of pop up, and then they kind of look around. But Amazon is organized by categories, or the products, the sellers are all on the same page. It can be selling the same exact item with the same SKU and everything, and they kind of force you to sell on that one page, or one or two pages they may have created for that listing. So they kind of organize it better, and again, it makes it easier for the person to find the product they're looking for, especially if it's unique on their network. Okay, so yeah, and overall, and this is a really big thing, is easy transactions. Easy. So from a seller's perspective, it's easy for them because they can do a thing called FBA, and we'll talk more about that in another video. Again, subscribe and you'll learn about that stuff. So we could do FBA, or the other thing is they just get an email and say, hey, it's been sent out. Here you go. There's no customer interaction. There's no, hey, do you have this? Can you do a better price? There's none of that negotiation at that point. And even a lot of the questions and answers, the Q&A is on the actual product page. So you may have a product everybody else is selling, and somebody had a question, and you don't actually have to answer it because it's already being answered for them on that page. And they have reviews, and then it's really, really built out content. And we'll talk about content in other videos. But that's a pro too, because again, that's all helps in the big fact that you can make a lot of sales on Amazon with ease. Look what just happened. Just like Bill Cosby's picture pages, I just made everything disappear. Well, some of his problems disappeared. Not really, though. They all came back to haunt him. But anyways, next, keep moving on, right? So we got eBay and the big A. Big, whoa, give me the G, give me the G. Big A. It's a really bad G. Kind of looks like an anarchy symbol or something. That's my bad writing. All right, so these are the cons. All right, so let's get started. So the cons for eBay, all right, it doesn't have as much conversion. So that's a big thing. So these are people kind of, they're kind of, here's these people, and then they're kind of walking away, and they kind of look, and they don't find what they want, and whatever. So they're just kind of leaving, and they're just not converting as much. So eBay doesn't convert as much, all right? And there's a lot of reasons for that, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, okay? And it goes to the next thing, and it's because basically it's considered the garage sale of the internet. So here's your table with, your stuff on it, and you can have here's a lamp shade, and here's like your racing car. Here's a racing car. It's a really bad racing car, but you know, this is like a garage sale of the internet, right? So the perception is like, well, you don't know what they're going to get 100% of the time. They know that PayPal, you know, kind of favors the buyers in respects sometimes and kind of sellers, so it's going to be a little bit of a war. Doesn't have that A to Z guarantee, so it's considered that garage sale. So you know, it's kind of like, you know, here's a guy just standing here, you know, with his change belt on, and he's ready to give you change and take you know, take your money. So it's considered a garage sale of the internet, and therefore the conversion's lower, right? The other thing is you have to relist. A lot of the products, depending, especially on the new ones, you have to relist. So here's the Santa Claus list, right? Here's your scroll, and you know, here's the scroll, and you know, you have to relist this all the time, and you know, here's the information, right? So this paper just keeps going down, longer and longer, and you have to relist all the time. I'm going to write that down because it's so frustrating. So you have to relist. Now, we can talk about in other videos. Again, if you subscribe, you'll find out all the tricks of the trade here to find out how to prevent relisting and how to automate the process. But a lot of it you have to relist. Okay, so it's a manual process, all right, most of the time. All right. And again, the double-sided coin. The customer interaction, all right? And I'm going to put this in, and I know a lot of people, again, I said I think it's a pro, but then again, for a lot of people, it's a con. So you're going to have to measure up yourself, depending on your product, what you think. So again, this is a person, and they're like talking blah, 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 and this person's talking, you know, blah, 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 and then like there's a party hat. Everybody needs a party hat, okay? It just makes you feel better when you think of that, all right? And they're talking. And they're basically saying, okay, here's the, you know, blah, blah, interaction. So again, the interaction could be a downside, okay? It can definitely be a downside, but I always try to take, you know, problems and turn them into opportunities, and you should too. All right, so that could be a downside for some people. And the problem is PayPal. People are kind of forced to use PayPal. A lot of people don't like PayPal, okay? They have their problems, but they're the de facto payment solution from eBay. So you've kind of got to use PayPal if you want consistent transactions, because they guarantee the service through PayPal, guarantee the purchases, and then you can, you know, withdraw pretty fast because you get paid instantly. Okay, so again, that's kind of a downside. You can't really, you know, attach a credit card processing account or another payment method, right? It's most of the time PayPal. All right, so those are the cons there. All right, moving on, we have on Amazon higher fees through the roof, Here's the house. Here's a house. All right, and here's your car. You parked your car here, and here's a chimney, and here's and it's going through the roof. Okay, so like those fees are pretty expensive. Okay, but you know what? You pay for what you get. So you're paying for a bigger audience. You're paying for higher conversion. You're paying for the trusted marketplace, and you're paying for everything that basically eBay doesn't have, but they know Amazon knows they have, and because of that, the fees are higher. And they're higher, you know, you're starting at like anywhere between 15 to 18%. So this is a really big number, okay? And depending on your industry, they have different, so it's a total one price, and that doesn't include shipping and stuff like that, and you know, discount. I mean, they have discounted shipping, we'll talk about that another time. But, you know, 15 to 18%, and then there's other fees involved. So you better have a product that has some margin or something exclusive. So again, we'll talk about more about the perfect products. All right. If something goes wrong, A to Z. Again, this is another one that's kind of like, you know, Z means, you know what it means for the buyer? It means zero. Something goes wrong in your transactions, you better make sure you have a great product and your service is good. Because unlike here in PayPal, when you can have the discussion, right, or negotiation platform, the A to Z is a disaster. And for the buyers, from the merchant's perspective, because you can wind up with nothing. like literally giving your product away, because you're bound by those laws, the behemoth's laws. Okay, so you have to do that. All right. The other thing is, initially, unless you're a huge power seller, and many of my friends are, and my associates, the 14-day hold. It's basically you get twice a month you get paid from Amazon. So you have to wait extremely long time. So if you sell, just say $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in product, and you got to pay bills, you better make sure you have in that 30-day terms, or you have that product and you have money and you have some liquidity, because you have a 14-day hold on your money. Okay, and there's a crooked money thing again. All right, 14-day hold. Hold it. That's rough sometimes. When you get paid instantly, you can get stuff done, you can pay other things, you can get things turned around. But with the 14-day hold, they want to make sure every customer is happy. And again, that goes back to the fact they become a monster, because they're going to hold that payment for you, make sure you're not jumping ship, and that's going to be it. Okay, so the 14-day hold is a real press. You can actually get this lowered, but you're going to have to be doing some big numbers, and you have to show some proof that you can do them. Okay. And the much higher competition. So many people are, so here's your listing, right? So I'm going to do this listing, right? I'm going to draw the list we did before, right? But there's so many people on top of you selling your product. Look at that. It's like a barrel of monkeys sometimes. Literally, like a barrel of monkeys. You got to hook them all out and throw them out of the barrel. There's so many people selling on Amazon one listing. You can have one product that everybody has, okay, and then literally be selling against them for pennies. Like, oh, whoa, 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 and it's like, well, I've never made it a sale. So as opposed to being a powerhouse, if you own the listing, because we're all selling on the one listing, right? So as opposed to the eBay, when we say with the pros, you can have a sporadic listing and a well SEO'd listing, and you can kind of, get that sale because they discovered it. With this, Amazon keeps those listings of those products, and they are very strict on their data policies, and then basically become, you're basically in what we call a competition for the buy box, or you have to have the lowest price, and it becomes like again, it's a pony show at this point, and I don't like to do that type of stuff sometimes. So that is a really big con. You can have like 30 people on your listing selling your same exact product, and that's a con. So there you have it, folks. That is the pros and cons of really, really big, the majority of the pros and cons on eBay versus Amazon selling. Now, if you haven't done it already, thanks for hanging around. Do yourself a favor and subscribe. I will also post a link to my blog where I talk about the power of Amazon and whether or not it is worth selling on eBay or Amazon. And I go into more detail about really certain scenarios where it can make you a lot of money, but you have to be smart about it. Okay, so again, let's talk some more. Please feel free to leave your comments below. I'd like to hear you guys, if you guys have started selling on Amazon. If you haven't, which marketplaces have you been to? Again, that's only one channel, one way to make money online, and I talk about it all the time, different ways to make money online. But anybody who's been asking this question, I've gotten this question a lot, and I wanted to kind of address it. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Again, subscribe. Go to getfoundmarketing.org. Where you can learn more tips and tricks, or if you have a product and you won't looking to sell and you're not looking to sell in marketplaces, because there are advantages to that as well. We'd be more happy to help. All right, thanks again. My name is David, and I'll talk to you guys and you entrepreneurs next time.